Hi everyone, this is Sri Vinesh, and this is day 12 of me sharing my learnings and explaining things in English. So as I'm preparing for a PL 300 exam, so topic for today is manage workspace and dataset in Power BI. So this is about Power BI service, and we are currently at the first module. So we have completed two chapters, and topic for today is recommend a development lifecycle strategy, troubleshoot data by viewing its lineage, and configuring data protection. So these topics are we going to see today. So let's move ahead to the notion. So recommend a development lifecycle strategy. So what is a development lifecycle strategy? So if you are creating a dashboard or report in Power BI, it will not be only in the development stage. So it will be moving to the from development stage to testing and to production. So these are the three common stages. Uh, Mostly it will be used in big organization to deliver the solution to the end user. So yeah, so deployment pipeline is something that is used to uh, make achievable this process. So deployment pipeline is the future feature that enables centralized development, testing, and production of the solution. So you should have premium and um, capacity that is admin that have admin access. So if you have these two, you can create a deployment pipeline and development environments. So it has three environment, as I said: development, test, and production. So let's see this in a detail. So let's see how to configure these three things. Let's go to our BI service, and if you go to our workspace, and at the top right corner you can see the create deployment pipeline. You can click that and you can keep whatever name you want. In my case, I'm keeping my name, and you can click next. If you want to add the description, you can add the description as well. And there will be three stages: development, test, and production. You can go to create. If you want to add something, you can add as well. And after creating the deployment pipeline, it will ask assign your workspace space at a stage. So you can skip this, and you can go to the development stage and click select. So in my case, I want to assign the management workspace, so I am clicking OK and assign workspace. So if I assign like this, if anything or any changes occurs in the management workspace, it will be reflected here. So if a developer who is collaborating with me, suppose he publish a new report to this workspace, it will be shown in the development stage. So it will show how many semantic models you have and how many data models you have, and you can also click refresh here. And if you can show more, if you click show more, it will show how many data flows you have and how many reports and dashboards you have and all. So after developing your solution, you can deploy it and click continue and I deploy. So if you are doing this for initial time, and it will take a lot of time. So I have already practiced this once before, so it is very quick for me. Yeah, it is deployed to the test stage. So if you want to do some changes, or if you want to see the data set or semantic model, you can go to this window and you can click the particular uh, semantic model. And if the test dataset or text CSV is in different file, you can go to the data source rules and create a different data source location, and you can also add parameter rules too. So in my case, I don't have any, so I am leaving as it is. So once the test is completed, you can deploy this to the production. Yes, it is successfully deployed to the production. So when you developing something and you deploy it to the test and you deploy it to the production. So if you assign one workspace, that is management, it will create another two website by default. So one is management and the test within the parenthesis, and management within the square bracket. So this is how it works. And if you if your co-developer produces something, or if your co-developer is uploading something in the workspace, it will be notified here. And there is a synchronization symbol here, so it will change as X mark. And there is something different between, it will indicate something different between development and test. If you want to deploy it, you can click that and deploy. If you don't want, if you have some changes, you can tell him, or you can put it in the test, and after that you can move to the production stage. So this is how it works. It mostly basically it is used to improve the productivity and time management. So to split up the work and better the solution, they will use this deployment pipeline. So that's it for deployment pipeline. So let's see the next topic. And for now, I'm going to delete this pipeline. So I don't want this. So I'm going to delete this. So you can, after settings, you can go to the ellipsis and click delete pipeline. So this pipeline will be deleted, and you can go to your workspace. You can see management test and production, and you don't want that, you can go to the settings and remove this workspace. So before that, I'm going to the production stage, and I'm going to see what are all the things. Yeah. So it is creating some data flow warehouse, as you can see here. So currently I don't need this, so I can go to the workspace and delete this. Yeah. So let's move to the next topic. Troubleshoot data by viewing its lineage. So lineage is nothing but a viewing method. So data lineage refers to the path the data takes from data source to its destination. So let me show an example. So in a workspace, I'm clicking the management workspace. There are various things, right? Data flow, semantic model, report, and dashboards. So if you click the lineage view here in the right top corner, it will give a map like a data modeling. So as you can see, I have some text CSV here, and it is connecting to data flow, and it goes to the semantic model, and it goes to the report, and it goes to the dashboard. So this is the basic view of a lineage view. So it is used to find or troubleshoot the data problems, and how the data is modeled, or what is the data source and where it is destinated and all. So in a lineage view, the first thing will be definitely will be a data source. So here, from here, the data will be coming to the semantic model, and then it goes to the report, and then it goes to the dashboard. So if you click one of the data source, you can see the full path where the data came from and the connection status. And if you connect it to the gateway, it will show that gateway status, and the gateway is also online. And if you click that access impact analysis button, you can see how many report or how many data flow it has been connected. So it is connected to one data flow, that is a data flow gen 1 and inspection team. So this is the data flow. It is connected to the inspection data team data flow. So if you click that show lineage, it will show how the data has been moving through the destination. So it is moving through inspection data. So let me click the show lineage. So if I click show lineage to inspection team data, it selects all the data CSV. So from these all data sources, the data flow is getting data. And if I click this, particularly if I click this, I can see when it is refreshed, last refresh and next refresh. And if I click the semantic model, here also I can see the semantic model serves for two purposes. One is one is dashboard, that is inspection dashboard. Another one is data flow. So you can see the workspace also. It is from a management workspace. So if I click the lineage view, it will highlight only the path next to the created by this semantic model. So the next is data flow. If you click this, you can directly open the report and you can see how many viewers and how many views, and dashboard is also the same. So you can right click this, you can see the user metric report, and you can, in the report, you can analyze it with Excel, delete this, quick insert, you can do all these kind of things. So this is most commonly used to troubleshoot the data. When you have in an organization setup, when you have large data set or many semantic models, and you get data from various sources, right? So to avoid errors and make the things clear, they use lineage view. So that's it about the lineage view. Let's move to the next topic. Configure data protection. So what is data protection actually? Protection actually. So in an organization, they have not only small data, they have very variety of data, and every data will not be very common. Some data may be very specific or it may be very sensitive, right? So uh, how someone could download it directly and publish to the outside world? So it would not be nice, right? And it is a threat to company, and it may be threat to the organization too. So in that case, sensitivity label plays a vital role. So if you can prevent your data, your semantic model, your reports, your dashboard, your data flow, everything by Microsoft 365, and it will add encryption and watermark to the data when you are exporting the data from service to the Excel, Power BI service to the Excel. And you can use Microsoft Cloud App Security to monitor and investigating the Power BI activities. What are and all the activities are occurs in the workspaces, and who are all logging to the workspaces and all, you can see from the Microsoft Cloud App. So for this, you have to subscribe to some license, and your organization should subscribe to the license, and your organization have to give the permission to you to enable the sensitivity label. So in my case, I'm not having that permission, and I'm using trial version. So I don't have the permission to access the sensitivity label, but I can show the pictures for you. So this is how it would be. So if you go to a workspace, you can see this. You can see the sensitivity label: general, confidential, and highly confidential. You can see this. So it is assigned by admin, and permission should be given by the tenant. So if you go to the workspace and right click the report or dashboard you want, and go to the settings. After going to the settings, you can see the sensitivity label. You can use the drop down list and can select the whatever sensitivity label assigned by your tenant. You can go to that and you can select the sensitivity label. After that, if you are exporting the data to Excel, it will be showing like a sensitivity is confidential. And if you someone who have no authority to download the data, you will not allowed to download the data. So because of this confidential, because of this sensitivity label, you will not be allowed to download the data. It is one of the important feature. So if you have the authority and assigned by the your admin or a tenant, you can download the data. Otherwise you can't download the data. So this way data will be very safe and secure. So that's it for today's video, and that's it for data protection. So if you are an expert watching my video and find any mistakes or miscommunication, please let me know in the comment section. So I'm open to learn from you. Thank you.